All right, we're on, I don't even know what episode this is anymore, but I think it's episode 7 of the Welcome to Real Estate podcast. So We're still a little newer in this. So we're here with Jameka Jefferies of Diamond Realty Partners, real estate broker, and you're running for Mayor of Hamden, Connecticut.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
somebody's got to do it.
And someone is you.
That's it. I mean, first of all, when you're looking for change, you have to be the change that you're looking for, right? A lot of times we're looking for heroes and sheroes, looking for people to bail us out. Guess what? The only people that are going to bail us out is us.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think we should put, people back in control. I mean, think about it. If I put you down in Washington right now, would you not know Cody Hughesman what to do? Like, of course you would, right? I mean, it's simple. It's not rocket science. It's common sense. And that's what's been lacking in, that's why I'm here. I just want to spread my talents and do good.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So,
Sure.
All right, we met, almost 5 years ago?
I think, yes.
5.5 years.
Yeah,
almost 5.5 years. Yeah, almost 6 years ago. We're both brokers. We both did a deal together.
Yes.
That deal was awful, right?
Oh, a nightmare.
A nightmare on both sides. And at the time, we really didn't get along on that deal. I wouldn't say like we, it was feuded.
Amicable.
Yeah, I don't say we feuded, but like we were like annoyed with the entire deal. Let's be real,
That's
right?
correct. That's correct.
And we weren't annoyed at each other. We were just annoyed at, hey, we got to get this deal done. It was a nightmare deal on both the buyer and seller side. Not that they were bad people, because they weren't. It's just there was a lot of moving parts.
Yes.
And it's funny because I think you probably were like, because I'm very direct.
Yeah.
You're probably like, yo, what up? What's up with this guy? Right?
No, I mean, I think for me, I don't know if you mind me sharing.
You could share, absolutely.
The details.
This is open format.
Yeah? Okay. You weren't well at the time.
No,
right?
I was
You were
sick.
battling something and you were trying to figure out what it was.
Right.
So you weren't as available probably as you could have been. And I was compassionate towards that because, that's the reason why I'm even running for mayor. It's about my neighbor, right? It's about loving people regardless of what situation they find themselves in. So that being said, I wanted to work with you, but the fact that I couldn't get answers. And that house, I mean, she had cats. It was like a rescue house
like
with
30
dogs.
cats.
Like 30 cats, 40 dogs. The place smelled like urine. The floors had to be ripped out. They wouldn't leave. Okay, it was something weird. And so I think what we discovered was what a successful co-broke can look like.
Absolutely.
When you work together,
Absolutely.
because you wanted to sell the house. My buyer wanted to buy the house. I think at that time it was like grossly overpriced too. It was like the highest house in the neighborhood, which speaks to your ability to know what markets are like and know what was forthcoming, because it was like the highest priced house on the block. But it was also the most beautiful house on the block.
It was unique. It was definitely unique.
Yeah, and so your pricing set the new comps that came out in that area. So kudos to you for doing that, even in your state of not really being mentally there all the way because of your health.
Right.
And I remember me being a new broker. One of the things that connected us was you were so giving with information, and it wasn't about competition. Because we both went into it knowing, like, you're a Caucasian male. I'm a black female. Okay? The people I'm going to reach, you probably won't reach. Even though you do have a lot of black females on your team. We just understood. Our audiences were different, right? But, again, we can all make money out here.
Yes.
And I prescribe to the belief that it's better together. Like, it's us collaborating rather than competing.
Yep.
Because I'm in a lane all by myself, all right? I step out of a slingshot. I'm jumping out of a Porsche. I'm a black woman with blonde hair up north. I created my lane, right? Like, that's my lane. People either love me or they hate me. But that's who I am. I'm true and I'm authentic to who I am. And in your case, like, you're just a real dude, right? You tell it like it is. You call it like you see it. And you don't care what somebody's title is. You don't care what position they have in town. If it's wrong, you're going to stand up for what's right. And so that's one of your lanes. And together, marrying that, it was just a beautiful compilation on our parts. And back to my initial story, when I first became a broker, And it was like, I had an office on State Street, and there was all this, different things happening. You said, you know what, Jameka, before you get your office space even, if you need to come and use my office, and you gave me your password to like the key to your office, because I think it wasn't even a regular key. You're so high tech, right? I had to use my like thumbprint to get into place, right? But you sent that to me, and that showed me like so much love. Like, this guy, he does not care about anything other than seeing people succeed. Mm-hmm. And that's how you and I really became friends, and it's been that way ever since.
Yeah, I mean, we both keep it real.
Yeah.
We both have our own energies.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. I think a lot of people, especially in real estate, they have imposter syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
They have, they got to have the Rolexes and the white Mercedes.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't have it yet. I'm not saying you shouldn't have it or can't get it, but like in this business, because it's so up and down, don't worry about fitting in, right? Because we don't fit in the normal sense.
No way.
Right? But we fit in generally, right? People are like, oh, those people over there, you're going to get knowledge, you're going to get wealth, you're going to get so many things out of those people. Yeah. And that's what I look for when essentially we're all partners.
Yes, we are.
Right? When I partner with people in life,
yep.
whether that's friends, family, because we can cut family off, we can cut friends off. When you choose those partners in life, that's what's going to determine your outcome and where you're going to go in the future, right?
Absolutely.
So, all right, let's jump back into your story a little bit. So, at that time, you're a new broker. So let's get out of that deal. That deal closed. We're good. We move on, right?
Yeah.
From what point? Because now you're 5 years later.
Yeah.
What is the 5 years as a broker? What is the lesson learned?
Oh my gosh. You talked about it. Watch your partners.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't even know when I got into that deal, and you helped me through that too. When I was a regular, realtor, there was a woman that was in the business forever. Mm-hmm. And she was like, young lady, I like your style. I like how you work. When you go to, broker class or whatever, call me when you get out, because I'm ready to get out of the business. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, she wants to transfer business to me and all of that. And that turned out to be an absolute nightmare. The woman turned around. The business that she was trying to sell me was not worth what she was selling it to me for. But because I'm such a loyalist and I put my word out there, I was like, I can't back out of this deal, even though I know my gut was telling me don't do it. So I would tell any new broker, any new partnership, trust your gut. Choose like wisely, like really do your homework. I thought I did, but it was too late because I had already transferred, leases in my name. And, I had a big, beautiful building on State Street, but it was a big lemon. You know what I mean? Like the whole business period was just a lemon.
It was a bad move.
Yeah, it was a bad move. And it cost me money, to get out of that deal. It cost me $10,000. But I learned a very expensive lesson. And I remember you were with me during that time and you were helping me research. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Anybody that's listening to this podcast right now, don't give up on people, though. Just because you met one imposter, because you met one, weirdo, there are still good people out here. You just have to vet them, and don't be afraid to trust, but also don't be so trusting.
I remember when that happened, you were afraid to tell me about it because we didn't really build a good relationship yet. Like we were, you know what I mean? Like we weren't like friends at that point. We did a deal together.
Yeah.
You were like, you noticed I was giving you advice as a broker. And then you started opening up about that. And what I tell you, I was like, listen, don't let it sweat you.
Yeah.
Like, don't stress it. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we're all going to get sued. We're all going to go through things that we just kind of have to work through. Like when people are like, I'm dealing with a situation right now I can't talk about because it's, a legal matter.
Yeah.
I'm not getting sued, but, there's always those situations where people are going to put onto you that doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth. It just means that, you shouldn't stress it because as long as you're a good person, who cares? Because there's always going to be people that are jealous.
Yes.
Always people that are going to be envious.
Yes.
And those are the people that will attack you the most.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And the other lesson I learned was I knew that even though I was going through that, I wasn't going to let it break me. Mm-hmm. In this business, any of you listening out there who are thinking about getting in real estate, or you're in real estate now, or you've been in for a few years, maybe 5 years, 10 years, wherever you're at, remember that every calamity will lead you to prosperity. Your adversity eventually could send you into prosperity, because even though I was going through that year, that was the first year I hit six figures, because I said, this is not going to kill me.
Yep.
It's not going to stop me. She tried to bankrupt me, this particular partner. She told me that she was going to do that to me. But my resilience, I was like, absolutely not. I did not pass these tests. I did not spend all that time studying, learning my craft, to have some jamoke, all right, who was jealous of me, come along and try to take everything that I built. And that's when I hit six figures. And, we're pressing towards seven figures, But again, you have to have thick skin. You have to understand that every issue that you come across is making you stronger, is pushing you further, faster, farther.
Exactly.
And you cannot stop now, because there's so many other people that you now can turn around and help. See, this story is helping somebody right now, Cody.
100%.
Right?
And that's why we do this podcast.
Absolutely.
Because even though it's called Welcome to Real Estate, it's the other side of real estate.
Sure.
It's talking about the clarity of it.
Yes.
Because so much of this business is hidden behind the dark stuff. Right?
Yeah.
The brokers that gatekeep information because they don't want realtors to become brokers.
That's right.
Right? They tell them, oh, well, I'm the broken broker, right? Listen, and I'm going to say this, and I say this all the time.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be brokers if there's no money in it.
Ah.
Okay? Don't get me wrong. There's not a lot of money in the beginning of it.
Yeah.
But once you build it and you build it strong,
Yeah.
there's a lot of money in the brokerage world.
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't make money at it. Am I saying I'm rich from it? No, but eventually I will be.
Well, listen, rich is a state of mind.
Well, it's
You know what I mean?
Money rich.
Yeah, right? I mean,
I'm already rich.
You understand? That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. And that's what people have to understand too. In this business, people automatically assume that, you're super wealthy because you sell real estate. I did not know when I got out of real estate school and I sat at a big brokerage firm, which I will not name. And my mentor at the time brought me to the managing broker. And she was like, okay, this is your split. And I think they gave me something ridiculous. Like,
Where'd you start?
well, I
You
said I
can
wasn't
say
going to.
it.
You sure?
Yeah, it's okay.
Coldwell Banker.
Oh, you started at Coldwell?
I started at Coldwell Banker.
All right.
And they were like, oh, we'll give you like a 55 and a half, 56% split with us, right? And then they were like, okay, now you're going to get 3.5% or 3%. And then we're going to take, wait, so I was doing the math, right? I'm like, okay, so you mean it's only 3% you guys make? Like, I did not know. I'm thinking, I'm watching all the TV shows, right? I'm watching HGTV and $1 Million Listing and all this stuff. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But it was 3% of $100,000 house.
Right.
Right?
You didn't know that.
Of which I got to give almost 60% of that away to a broker, plus pay the desk fees, plus pay for E&O insurance, plus pay for, whatever else they want me to pay for.
Admin fees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time I got home, it was like $1,000. I said, oh, no, this ain't going to work.
That happened to me.
Right?
I started at Ravis. Same thing. Same model. Yeah. My first check, I went, fuck. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, do I stay in this business?
Yeah.
And it's not against them.
No.
That's their model. As new agents, we didn't know better.
Right.
Right? So more power to them.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the difference between them and brokers like us who are like, we're smaller. And when agents sit down with us, we're very clear. Like, hey, this is what you're getting.
Yeah.
This is what we do for you.
Right.
If that doesn't align with you, there's thousands of other brokerages you can go talk to.
Right.
Right. And that's kind of the problem. Now I'm going to call out all those major brokerages right now. All right. The reason why the industry has an 87% fail rate is because of them.
Yeah.
Because of the lack of transparency.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Because as a new agent, you should be sitting people down going, this business is not hard, but it's not easy.
Right.
And here's your blueprint. Right. They didn't do that.
Right.
And they could say they do it, but they didn't do it for me. They didn't do it for you. And I know they didn't do it for 80 other % of new agents.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, the thing for me was I already had sales experience.
Right.
Before I came to real estate.
Me too. But
I was a top seller for major Fortune 500 companies. I was actually, before I got this job, I was a personal fitness trainer for the Edge.
Wow.
Right. My husband was working. He, was managing a large country club down in Fairfield County. So I didn't have to work as hard in my life, So I was like, let me go train. I was in good physical, I was about to train for a major, competition. I was fitness, all of that. And the way I got into real estate was he got hurt on his job.
Oh.
Major injury. And so I was like, okay, I got to make some money and I got to make it fast. Mm-hmm. So what do? Do I go back into financial services, banking, which I had a background in, or do I try this real estate thing that I always kind of had an interest in? And, I know I can kill it because I know my work ethic.
Right.
This business is a sales job. I think most people don't know that. Mm-hmm. They think, oh, my neighbor wants to sell their house. I'll go sell their house. But you got to keep that thing going. You got to have a funnel. You got to have moxie. You got to have thick skin. You got to be able to knock on doors. You got to be able to have anybody that comes within 6 feet of me is getting a business card. You understand? Everybody and their grandmother needs to know that I sell real estate. Let me tell you how about it I was, Cody. When I was still in real estate school, I was telling everybody I was in real estate.
Yeah.
I was prophetically proclaiming.
Manifest.
Somebody said, well, you were lying. No, I was, rehearsing for what was about to come because I knew I had no choice. This had to work. I was now going from housewife of Hamden to now I got to burn my boats because it's better work. I can't go back to anything. And that's the mentality any new agent has to come in with. So I didn't need all of that training per se that they were going to give a new agent because intrinsically I had it in me. But what I did need, I provided for myself, right? Mm-hmm. I needed to know their framework, but I found out I'm not corporate. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I need to march to my own drum. If I want to wear rhinestones in this appointment, okay? If I want to wear all my diamonds that I got in my jewelry box, I'm wearing them. Whereas my mentor was like, no, you want to take some of those chains off. You want to, I wasn't being true to myself.
No. Yeah.
Dark suits and low heels wasn't my deal.
Right.
So I had to do my own thing. I say to any new agent, come in with your plan, with your exit strategy even already in mind.
You have to keep to your authentic self.
Yes.
Authenticity sells you.
Exactly.
And I think one of the hardest things for a lot of us as human beings is a lot of us can't accept that not everybody likes our authentic selves. Mm-hmm. And that is such a mental roadblock for a lot of people, whether we want to admit it or not, right? Because we all, in reality, we want everybody to like us. See, for me, I don't care.
Yeah, right.
I don't care if you like me or not.
Yeah, kind of same thing here.
But that's why we're where we're at,
right?
And the reality is like 95%, I'm making that statistic up, 95% of people don't have that mindset. So when you're going into this business, you kind of need that guidance. We didn't need that guidance.
No, I didn't.
We're natural born salespeople.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we know how to promote ourselves.
Yes.
Right? And it's kind of like you were in the fitness world, I was in the music world. Mm-hmm. Those are two worlds where you have to talk about what you do.
Oh, you better.
And if you don't, you're left behind.
Well, yeah. I mean, closed mouths don't get fed.
Right.
And in this business, you cannot be a secret agent. You got secret agents all over the place. They're school teachers, and then I do sell. I got my real estate license. Like that's not. This has to be front and center. Mm-hmm. You got to eat, breathe, drink, sleep this. Anything that you want in life.
Yeah.
You got to go hard. You got to go 110,000% on it if you want good results. Mm-hmm. And see me, I don't know mediocrity. I'm meteoric, not mediocre.
Right.
You understand? And when I shoot for something, I'm going for the highest levels possible. That way, if I miss the moon, I'm amongst the stars, so to speak, right? Yep. But no, your life can only be as big as you see it. Mm-hmm. And I just see so much more, and I saw so much more. And my agents that came to me, I just hired a new agent, Cody.
That's awesome.
Right?
Congrats.
After we had that, thank you. And she had the same problem. She was at one of the big places. And unfortunately, not that I'm playing this card, but it still exists. Black agents, listen, we still make, I think the statistic is around 50% less than our Caucasian agents. And she was not treated fairly over there. They didn't want to help her. My other agent,
and it exists.
One of the top people, it does.
It exists.
We can't act like it doesn't.
No, it does, and it exists. And it exists for everybody. Some more than others. This business is. You know, it's funny, and to go off of what you're saying about like wanting the most out of everything.
Yeah.
I had this kid, a kid from high school I went with. I posted a status like 7 years ago, and I have the status saved. And I posted a picture of Jeff Bezos sitting at a desk where he just started Amazon. And the quote was like, I don't remember what the exact quote was, but basically like, if you dream it, you could build it, basically. Going from in 1997 or whatever it was, he went from being worth 300,000 to now being worth what, 300 billion, right?
Pretty much.
And this kid, I remember very clear, this kid commented on it. That post went nuts. I'm talking like 300 comments, like crazy, right? Because I had posted something as well. And the kid said to me, he goes, "You really think you're going to be a billionaire, don't you?" And I just responded with, I'm going to send you $1 in a gift card when I do become a billionaire. Because you know what? I might not become a billionaire, but my mindset is I want to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
And why can't I do it? Why can Jeff Bezos do it?
Exactly.
Why could Elon Musk do it? Why could Donald Trump do it?
Yeah.
Why could Bill Gates do it, but I can't?
Right.
You're limiting your mindset.
Yeah.
And you trying to limit mine, get out of here with that noise.
It's craziness, right?
Because you know what? My good agent could be $1 billion company.
Yeah.
You know what? In 4 years, I built it from $1,000 in my bank account. I don't have any money. I'm cash poor. I'm cash poor, but the company's probably worth $4 million now.
Wow, bro.
Right?
That's so awesome.
Like if I was to put it on the open market, I probably could sell for $4 million.
Go ahead.
Right?
I love it.
So don't come at me try to belittle our dreams and our goals because you have a simple mind that can't process that people can go from 300,000 to 300 billion.
Exactly.
That's such limited thought process.
But see, the poor guy there, he's a victim of, mediocrity, right? He's just like, it's average. Everybody thinks they got to do this 9 to 5, and they're just kind of limited to this humdrum life. Whereas you have those of us who are visionaries. See, if you can see it, you can be it.
Absolutely.
If you can think it, you can ink it. The thoughts are things. And Henry Ford, he's like my posthumous mentor, right? He said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. It takes just as much energy to think I can be a billionaire or a millionaire or a best-selling author or a world-renowned speaker, coach, all of that. Just as much energy to believe I can be that as I can be, I'm a barista at Starbucks. The believability factor. See, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's perception, what's perceived real. It's what you think about the most is what you're going to become. And so folks I think I heard a quote say one time, Cody. It says, thinking is the hardest work that most people never will do. Right? Why do you think some of your best ideas come when you're sitting in the bathroom, right, on the toilet? Because you quiet yourself down long enough to just be there in the moment, right? And you get ideas. Some of the best singing is done in the shower, when you're alone, when you can think, when you can process, right? But we're so busy running. We're so busy what our mother's ideas were about us. Our father's ideas were about us. Our bosses. We don't go back to what it is we want. And that was one of the game changers for me, was when I had an epiphany that, guess what? Whatsoever a man thinks in his heart, that's what he's going to be. Guess what? I'm going to be the bomb.com. I'm going to be the best at what I'm doing. And guess what? That first year in real estate, I became Rookie of the Year at my board.
It's awesome.
Right? Why? Because I got around people. That's the other thing too, Cody. Listen, the bigger your network, the bigger your net worth. If you're the smartest one in your group, you need a new group. You're the sum total of the closest 5 people that you know. That's where it changed. Because I remember going to an NHMR meeting, and there was Lauren Friedman up there. There was Alan Stewart up there. There was all these like powerhouses sitting on that stage. And I remember looking up there and saying, next year, I'm going to be on that panel. Worked hard. The average real estate agent only sells 1 house a year. Come on, man. I 100x'd it, man. I 12x'd it.
Yep.
Right? The next year, I'm sitting on that panel. And now the people from this group coming in are now asking me how I did it. And I remember sitting out there asking them how they did it. Why? Because I got around the right people. I got in the right environments. So it really comes down to knowing the steps that it's going to take, doing the steps, because knowledge is not power. We know that, right? Implemented knowledge, applied knowledge is power.
I tell people that all the time. They're like, Listen, I'm one of the least ego-driven people ever. Like I'll joke about my ego, like, whatever. Yeah. But people say, even my attorney will say, you do so much,
you do.
Right? And he's like, how do you manage it? How do you get around all this stuff? I tell him, like, I don't know.
Listen, you're just, the genuineness, and this isn't like some love fest you were up there, but it's the truth. I mean, I remember flying down to Florida for a conference, and I called you up. I said, Cody, where are you when you were living down there full time? Where were we? Tampa? Was it Miami?
Fort Lauderdale.
Or Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. You were in Fort Lauderdale. I think I drove to you from Miami. I don't something remember, like But I was like, where are you? What are you doing? You were like, I don't know. Come by. Let's go get coffee. And didn't you bring your dog too?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think
I had the Jeep at the time.
Yeah, you had the Jeep. Right. It was so dope. But that's just how you are and who you are. You know what I mean? At your core.
Yeah.
And if you can help someone, that's what you do. And Albert Einstein said it like this. He was asked the question, what's the purpose of life? Right? Mm-hmm. You and I, we make money.
Yep.
We know how to make money. We know how to make people make money, right? Mm-hmm. But the purpose of life, he said, is to serve people.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
He said, serving people is the greatest purpose in life, isn't it? And he posed the question afterwards. And it's an absolute yes. The more people you serve, the more you'll get out of life.
And I think it's very easy to find people around us that are ego driven, are money driven.
Yeah.
And look, we're all money driven in some way.
Absolutely.
It's just whether you're putting greed and evil behind it, right?
That's the key.
And the thing is like, I could be like, I'm cash poor. I could be cash rich if I turn evil on, but I don't have evil in me, right?
I
know what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
I know so many people that are cash rich that are just the evilest people in the world, right? And we look, there's evil in all of us.
Yeah. It's like the cartoon,
right?
The good angel and the devil on the shoulders. Yeah.
I think there's evil in all of us, and I just don't think that the ones that control it the best are the ones that are the good human beings.
Absolutely.
Like sharing knowledge and sharing. See, I don't even think it's sharing knowledge. I think it's sharing experiences.
Yeah.
Right? Because knowledge is one thing. Like, I've never read a book in my life, but some people look at me and say I'm a smart guy, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And for me, I look at it as, well, I just experienced more. And not because I had more resources. I went and got those resources.
Yes.
Right? And that's the point of this podcast and talking to people like you is you go build your resources. You go find them. You find your opportunities. You chase them.
Oh, man.
Right? I chase them. I don't know your background, but I don't assume you grew up rich.
No,
I didn't grow up rich.
No.
I grew up in New Haven, right? Yeah. In a 2-bedroom house with 5 people. Like, we didn't have a lot of money, but people will always prejudge because I speak well. They're like, Cody's rich. He comes from money. Why? Because I talk well and I present myself well. Yeah. That's bullshit, right? Because everybody wants to idolize money and fame and status and all these things. Like, stop idolize experience.
Absolutely. That's good.
Instead of spending money on those $500 pair of Jordans, which we all have, okay? But if you're out there and you're listening to this and you're like, how do I get to the next step, right? Yeah. Go buy your clothes from Walmart. Right. And then take that $400 difference and go get a plane ticket and go to the Grand Canyon. Yeah. Right. Go to Vegas, go to New Orleans, go to Nashville, go to LA, go to San Diego, go to Miami, go experience what the world has to offer. Yes. Right. Yes. It doesn't cost them. Everyone's like, oh, traveling's expensive. No. A plane ticket is average $300. Yeah. That's what you're spending on Yeezys and Jordans and all this stuff. Go buy a plane ticket. And you know what? Create the resources. Right. Because you know what? A rental car, if you find it right, will cost you $150. Sleep in the rental car. Yeah. Okay.
Super simple. And I love that idea of gathering experiences. But I'm going to do one better. Once a person knows what they want, then they can get what they want.
Agreed.
Most people don't even know what they want. They haven't taken time to be introspective and reflective on what makes them tick, what makes them light up, right? So I would say, to your point, take that same $300 plane ticket, but when you buy it, go to a conference in that dope city that you want to visit. Okay, something that appeals to what lights you up. Because listen, I looked at my Amex the other day. Actually, 2 weeks ago. It wasn't the gold one. It was the platinum, which is the business one, right? And I'm not saying this to brag, but I had spent that year, I invested $100,000 in my education. This is why I can run for mayor. This is why I can stand in any room and go toe-to-toe with anybody, because it built up my confidence. I built up myself. I know that I know what I know. I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
All right? And I didn't meet my first billionaire with a B, who's in my phone right now. I could call him and talk to him right now. I didn't meet him while I was selling real estate. I met him after I ran for mayor. And he's in my town. See, you don't know, by stepping out on faith, by stepping out on something. And Cody, you got to understand this. I didn't want to run for mayor because Jameka Jefferies wanted to run for mayor. My neighbors came to my house a year ago. Some were from the north end, some were from the south end. And they showed up at my door. And they were like, Jameka, the town is in a mess. The mayor's got to go. Somebody's got to help us. We can't do it.
Right.
What we believe, if you stand up and speak for us, guess what? We believe that you can do it for us, and we'll back you and we'll support you.
So all right, so we all know Connecticut in a whole is just financially awful, right?
The mismanagement is at unparalleled.
And I'm going to say this, and I think you agree with me as a real estate broker, CHFA is the dumbest program ever.
Let me tell you something. It's like Section 8 for home buyers. It's horrible. We lose deals when CHFA is on it, right? I mean, have you?
I haven't lost any deals, but here's, on the seller side, yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because they're short.
Yes, they're short.
They're short.
Or people discriminate against CHFA because they know all the hoops that they're going to have to jump through. All right, if CHFA says you got to raise.
We're paying for that money. Taxpayers are paying for that money.
I know.
But hear me out. And I said this, I sat down with a buyer last week and I told her straight up, I'm like, listen, I get that it's $25,000. But what happens when you want to refi your rate next year because rates dropped 1%? You got to pay that $25,000.
Yeah.
And loan officers are not telling people this. And it really, you know what? Everybody comes after realtors like we're the bad people. You know what? Loan officers are giving that loan out. And for some people, great. First time home buyer, $25,000. Maybe they're going to be there 10 years and whatever. Yeah. But what about the people that are like, it's a 4-year plan. It's a 5-year plan. Right. Or life happens, a 2-year plan, and you got to pay $25,000 back and you don't have that in equity. You're going to short sell that property. Yeah. And now your credit's in jeopardy. Your financial stability's in jeopardy. Yes. So we need people in office like you who are fighting for the actual well-being of the people. And CHFA for me as a real estate broker is not a good thing.
Listen, it is from my perspective, my purview, the way I see it, everything you said is absolutely valid and true. My issue is when I come up in a deal and my buyer has a CHFA loan, what I find, and most of those people are black and brown, by the way, right? Because they don't have high down payments. They barely have, $3,000 saved up just to cover the inspections and which is great. The EMD or whatever, right? Yeah. My issue is when I get into a multiple offer situation and you got conventional guy and you got cash guy and you got even FHA guy. CHFA shows up, he's the last one on the list.
It's double underwriting.
Right? Double underwriting. Everybody, just about, I would say 90% of my CHFA deals, my buyer is crying towards the end of the closing because it keeps getting pushed. I have to keep getting extensions. Something else came up. They want to cross-verify. They want blood from the people pretty much they want a tooth with the gold on it, all right? Yeah. And so it's nightmarish in that respect. Right. And just from the, I want to say it's systemic almost, racism. Because nobody's saying, we think they're black, so we're not going to take CHFA. They make the programs that the black and brown people are skewed towards, okay? And what happens? My people usually have to bid over the over ask to even get a second look.
Yeah, and then that $25,000 is basically washed away in negative equity.
There you go, my brother. So we're paying double. We're still behind the 8 ball. And we're not creating generational wealth and legacy, which is what I got into this business to help my clients
Exactly. Do. And that's, we need leadership that can look at this like that, because I know it's more on a state level, but it starts from the bottom.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
It starts town-wise. I don't even sell a lot of homes in the town that I reside because we have the 3rd and 4th highest tax rates in the state.
Disgusting.
3 and 4 out of 169 municipalities? That is unconscionable.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And guess what? Our tax bill didn't even come out on July 1st because they didn't even know what the mill rate was until about a week ago. And then they did this stupid phase-in to supposedly help the people. We don't even know what that calculation looks like until we get our bill in another week or so, the middle of the month.
You know what? And this, all right. And I'm going to say this, and I don't, listen, you know me, I don't care about politics. This is exactly why people voted for Donald Trump, because he thought like a business person.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right?
That's my differentiator.
You're a businesswoman.
I'm a businesswoman.
You understand how a business runs, and a government is a business at the end of the day, right?
Really is.
And listen, I'm all for helping people, right? I'm all for creating systems that actually help people. But when you do it to just get political agendas pushed, you put everybody into a black hole.
It's the truth. It's the truth, Cody.
It's awful.
And this is what we're experiencing. However, if there's a way in a situation, there's a way out.
I agree.
And for lack of a better term that's coming to me right now, I have to literally go in there and drain the swamp. Okay? And not to use any words that...
So the blonde hair is looking a little shaded of the Donald Trump shade.
Am I looking a little orange right now? You know, because
I'm just messing with you.
This is common sense, Cody, right? You have to, I mean, we haven't had a finance director in almost a year.
Crazy.
Okay? We have no financial statements. The books haven't been reconciled for 6 months, and we haven't had an audit in 2 years.
I mean, look what happened with West Haven. They stole all that money during COVID.
Absolutely.
And how do you know that didn't happen in other towns like Hamden?
I know it did.
If you get elected, you have to audit all of that.
Thank you, brother.
All of it.
Thank you.
Why are taxes on a $450,000 house, why are they $13,000?
Yeah.
Break that down, right? Over $1,000 a month in property taxes. Plus you got vehicle taxes.
Yes.
My vehicle taxes, now I'm a Florida resident, so I don't have vehicle tax anymore. But my vehicle tax before I moved was $2,300 a year, and I drive a Genesis. It's not the nicest vehicle.
Oh, it's nice.
It's a nice car.
Yeah.
But $2,300? You know what I could do with $2,300?
Yeah.
I can go put it back in the economy by buying more groceries.
Yes.
By buying clothes, by buying whatever, right? Building, you know, the economy the right way, not by giving $2,300 to a city who's going to do God knows what with it.
Exactly.
Right?
And the people are fed up. The people have revolted. So this isn't even an election right now, Cody. This is a movement. I need your viewers, your people to help me join this movement.
Listen,
is really what it comes down to.
I want to see a change completely in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I want to see, and listen, and this is not Republican or Democrat, okay? No. But the last time Connecticut had a balanced book was when Jody Rell, a Republican, was in office. And I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat.
Right.
I'm independent. I would say I'm more libertarian. Sure. You know, I'm kind of like, I'm conservative as far as like fiscal goes. Yeah. But I can care less about like the religion side, the abortion side. Like, do what makes you happy. Right. You're a human being. Yeah. You have the right to think.
Understood.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's where I fall. But when it affects everybody. Yeah. And that is more of the fiscal side of things. Sure. It affects all of us. Right. Right? Yeah. You know, it's crazy to me. Now, I have a family member who he's very capable of working, being a part of society, but state says, we'll give you free housing just because you applied for it. That's crazy to me. Wow. That's crazy to me.
I mean, is there any kind of like disabilities or mental?
He says he's disabled, right?
Well, I mean, whether a man thinks he is or he's not, he's right, right?
Right, but we're paying for it. Yeah. The people that need those programs that really need it aren't the ones getting it.
Yeah, in some cases. Some cases.
What
I mean? So, I mean.
But being in real estate, we see it firsthand. Yeah. You know?
Listen, I'm so grieved. I had a woman that wanted to buy a house. She didn't qualify for much. So she goes, I think I'm going to rent.
That's crazy.
A decent one bedroom. I mean, the average that I've seen is like $1,650. For one bedroom, $1,700.
Where in Hamden?
Everywhere. $1,500 will get you on the third floor of, no central air, which is where she wants to be. I mean, she needs first floor. She needs help, right? And so the renters, I hope they can hear this today and understand that they're not off the hook, because when the landlord's taxes go up, your rent goes up.
Yeah.
And I'm still encouraging people to buy, even in this jacked up kind of society. It's better for you to own than to rent if you can, I believe, any day of the week, even though there's more expenses involved. You know, these folks, they say, Jameka, can I paint the walls? You know, yes, when you own it, you can. Can I have a pet? Yeah, when you own it, you can. Forget about a pit bull. All right. Even I had a person with 3 pit bulls trying to find an apartment. You're not getting an apartment.
It's crazy.
Right?
I work with a lot of landlords in New Haven that allow dogs, and they're the nicest landlords ever.
Yeah.
Like, they treat their people well. Like, they allow dogs because they understand, like, pets are family. You know, a lot of people need pets mentally, physically, you know.
Yes.
You know, my dog changed my life. You know, like, I got my dog when I was 23 or 24.
Okay.
And she's been with me ever since. Now I'm in my 30s, and, you know, that dog just, I don't know. She just changed my life in so many ways. Gave me responsibility as a young adult. Yeah. You know, she's my best friend. We talk to our dogs more than we talk to people. Okay. Right. And I feel like landlords are like, oh, no dogs, no this and that, because it gives them control. Right. You know, dogs, not every dog is going to rip up the floor or the carpet, and most don't. You know?
Well, here's the thing. You know, the dog in and of himself is going to do what's in his nature. You have to have people that train the dog not to pee all over the carpet and the hardwood.
They say dogs are a reflection of their owner.
Right?
My dog is sweet and crazy. I would say I'm probably about to say.
Yeah, sweet and crazy. I would agree with that one. You know, I mean.
You've seen my Facebook statuses.
I've seen them. I don't have a dog, but my husband was an exotic pet dealer. Yeah. So we have something called Patagonian cavies from Argentina that look like a deer, a rabbit, and a kangaroo all at the same time. Never seen anything like that. That's crazy. But I love them. Really? We got them for a year now, and they hop around. That's cool. You know, I mean, it's crazy.
I'd like to see a photo of that.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Send it to me. Text me. Yeah. Definitely. So, all right, we're getting towards the end of this. Yeah. What is something? All right, we're gonna end with a few things here. Yeah. What is your biggest mission for being mayor of Hamden, Connecticut? You
know, I am completely bipartisan. And for me, it was about unifying the town. Because you got Democrats who hate Republicans, Republicans hate Democrats, independents are like, I hate all of you. Unaffiliates are like, I want no parts of you. And so when I came up with this notion, it was like, you know what I have to do? I have to come up with a project where I can unify, beautify, and then revitalize the town. And so in doing that, when I started sharing my message of how I'm demanding, I'm not asking anymore, I'm demanding, after being in 6 months of legislative council budget meetings where I was bored to death for 3 hours, 3 nights a week, listening to them not accomplish anything, I understood that this town is in need of transparency, responsibility, and accountability. This is why people get into politics, because they can get away with just about anything and no one is there to hold them accountable. So my mission, again, is to bring people together, to change the culture of our town, to change the culture of our town government center, because it's toxic right now. Every department in there is at war. The police hate what's going on there. Their hands are tied, all right? They can't even stop you for a traffic light. You got the fire department, which isn't, they don't trust their leadership. Every department. So again, I'm coming in to basically say, listen, guys, we're going to work this thing out. I got a plan. And I've been very careful as to how much I let loose about what I want to do, because I'm going to leverage all my relationships that I have in the business world. I got people in the state level. I got people, real estate developers waiting for me to take office so they could come in and help me to provide a viable economic development plan for the town, because that's the only way we're going to be able to get those taxes down. Right now, our town has been using the people, the taxpayers, as their human ATM machine. And we're saying, no, we draw a line in the sand, all right? We're going to cut everywhere we need to cut, but more importantly, we're going to bring in no more smoke shops, liquor stores, and nail salons, all right? We're going to bring in manufacturing, biotech, bioscience, all right? AI technology companies need to come into our town to help us build on a new infrastructure. And Hamden will not be a place that's just a pass-through town that you pass through to get to North Haven. You pass through to get to Cheshire. We're going to make it a destination place. Again, people will love to move to Hamden, where our motto is going to be Hamden, a place where you can flourish, thrive, live, and grow.
Love it. And here's $1 million question. I'm
Yeah.
sure no one's asked you this yet.
Let me see.
And
Ooh.
so what's going to happen with Diamond Realty Partners?
Oh my gosh.
You're going to get elected.
Yes.
So
I already have a partner in the business
Nice.
that's just going to take it over. We'll still have it. It will still be in existence, but I will be 100% full time.
Nice.
Being the CEO of my town and taking it back to the greatness that I know it once had and to the future and the hope that I know it can once again have and be, because Hamden used to be the place to be.
Awesome. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming out. And
My pleasure.
This is going to be a good episode.
Oh, I hope. Listen, anytime I'm on, it's a good episode.
Awesome. Thank you.
I appreciate you.